All right, how are you this morning? Good. Okay, so I will start by reading the divine principle. This is a part of the principle of creation. So God endowed human beings with the portion of responsibility for the following reason. By fulfilling their given portion of responsibility, human beings are meant to inherit the creative nature of God and participate in God's great works of creation. God intends human beings to earn ownership and become worthy to rule over the creation as creators in their own right, just as God governs over them as their creator. So, of course, like we all know this part very well, right? So God, He has His clear purpose of creation, and to realize His ideal, then God gave human beings the portion of responsibility. That basically, if we rephrase it, so God and the human beings need to work together, right, to realize it, So God by himself, so he cannot realize the ideal. So God and human beings work together, then so God and us together, we can fulfill the purpose of creation. So, we can realize the ideal world. So that is God's plan, So, when you think about, the God's purpose of creation, of course, like that is the entire world and the universe, right? But what Adam was supposed to do at the time to realize God's idea is that so he himself, with his own responsibility, he needed to grow and become one with God, right? So he needed to create himself. In other words, he is growing means he is creating himself together with God to become God's ideal man. Then Eve also, Eve was supposed to become the ideal woman. So that's what, Adam and Eve were supposed to do at the time. So then, then once he and she, Adam and Eve, fulfilled their responsibility, then the ideal world would be there, right? So, God's ideal world is so huge, right? However, the most important part is with the human being. So God and the human being. So one person, Adam, and another person, Eve, right? So then actually, that applies to us too, right? We need to go through the growing period, Then we are not just, in another word. So we are growing, then we are creating ourselves together with God. So that then we need to participate in that creation of myself. So God has the clear idea about yourself, right? Myself, So that's maybe you know it, but that's a really important part. Important thing to know. Like God has a clear idea about myself, right? So He has the clear image of myself and yourself, So he has a really, he had a really clear idea, in detail idea about Adam, Of course, there are lots of things, depends on Adam's, how he grew or whatever, but, he gave Adam as a very unique nature and possibility or those kind of things. then God gave those things to you too. Each one of you, myself, God has a very clear kind of, the dream about yourself, and then He gave you, all of you, a different, unique nature and unique kind of ability or possibility, right? So that kind of things, right? So then we are trying to reach that. We are trying to really realize that kind of idea of yourself or myself. So that is our life. Then that was impossible until true parents came on earth. Then, but we have the true parents. We have true parents now. We are God's children now, right? So then now, like, what we need to do is we really grow and realize that God's idea on me or you, our family. Then when we establish it, then we can change the entire world, right? So that is our life. Right, that is our life of faith. So what we are doing every day, in our life, right? We are living that kind of life to realize God's idea. So from that kind of viewpoint, then sometimes, time by time, so I have to reflect that, am I living the good life or valuable life or the significant life, or, in that sense, okay? In that sense, am I really growing toward the idea through living every day, through doing something, doing many kinds of things, different kind of jobs and, responsibilities and missions, and by doing such things, then am I really like coming closer to God, right? That's a point, right? That is the most important part of my life. So after I got to know God and God's ideal, and we know true parents, now like that became possible. That is, that is God's desire on us right now. True parents' desire, right? So we live that kind of life, moving forward, coming toward the God's idea, so that our life should be that kind of life. But sometimes like we are not really doing so good, honestly speaking, right? Not really good. Well, but basically, honestly speaking, you forget about those, right? Well, many times or sometimes, I don't know. If you look good, that means maybe you are doing pretty good. But we, often forget about that kind of very internal things because we are so busy externally, or you are like just you're satisfied by you are doing things externally, or fulfilling things, that, from my external viewpoint. But we need to reflect internally our life time by time, otherwise like that maybe you are just staying same place. Or, you realize, right, sometimes you realize you are going down. You are not good like 2 years ago. Maybe two years ago I was more healthy internally, I'm speaking internally, right? Yeah? But, I'm a little bit down. Then like if something happened, right, that's how, even a father said, our life is up and down, But you should not go down, right? So you should up and down, then eventually you are going up. Then, realize the original purpose of creation. So when, when you go down, then you should not like just go down, to hell, right? No, so you reflect, right? Sometimes you reflect during the Sunday service, and you may kind of, realize something, then you try to move up, go to their workshop or whatever, God is speaking to you maybe all the time from somebody. So then you realize something, then you change the direction bit. Then once you try to change it, then make some condition, then God try to pull you up. So then you may go up, But anyway, the point is we should not just go the same kind of life, spiritually no meaning life. No, that's not good. Actually, I think Father said, you think you are just moving, horizontally, not up, but not so bad, not really, I'm not going down, I'm so-so, right? So-so life. Then you think that is a so-so life, just you are going horizontal. But if you think so, but maybe that's not, that our life is basically going up or down. When you think I'm doing so-so life, probably you are going down bit by bit, then just you don't realize it. If that is not just little by little, you don't realize it, right? You don't realize. Yeah. So that 5 years ago, your standard is like this. Then by the few years passed, then your standard is a little bit lower. You know what you're talking about? I don't know. I used to have the higher standard, but now I compromise a little bit, right? Compromise a little bit, then compromise a little bit. Because your standard is here, even you compromise 1 millimeter, it's not a big deal, right? Then compromise a bit, When you realize then a little bit, this much compromise. But when your standard is this much now, that's why tomorrow you compromise a bit, it's not so big deal, So that's how our standard may go down. I'm saying this from my experience anyway. So that kind of things happen, right? So, but we don't want that, we don't want that. So that something, please reflect, what kind of life you are living. God has a clear purpose of creation on you. Each one of us, God has a clear purpose of creation, ideal, right? God has the clear idea for each one of you. Then you have it, God has it, and you have it, right? Then we want to have it, we want to realize it, So from that viewpoint, then what kind of life we are living right now. So I think sometimes we need to really reflect on that. Then the Father said, when we recite the family pledge, then we say, we are the owner of Chonilguk. Actually, Brother Kennedy's prayer was so great. I mean, that is my, contains my sermon. Owner of Chonilguk, right? Then being owner, then the other side is the guest or observer, just observing something, right? Just outside. God has working for their creation or restoration, creating you, creating me, then you could be the outside. So if you are outside, not participating in the God's creation, then you are just standing outside, right? Then you are not really doing good. I mean, can't really grow. If you are just standing out, then looking at it or observing it or watching something happening, right? So that's I think Father called that an observer. Don't be don't be the observer, just observer or guest, right? We need to be in, together with God, together with somebody, and we do something together, right? Participate in there, right? That makes sense, right? Many times, we hear what we say, or sometimes I say, this church is this, and this church is that, or this church, we may complain, things like that, but we can say such things so easily if you are outside, if you are outside, right? But if you are really in, when you realize something, then you want to do something because you are the owner of this church, if you have the sense of ownership. So that's owner, Am I in or out? So that kind of things. So that God, true Father said, if God tell you something, when you see something in this church building or things happening in church need to be fixed, improved, then when you see something like that, right? God is helping you, or God is saying you to do something for it, So that's you could be the good able, by doing so, then you could be the good able, you are in there, then trying to fulfill what you can do, with God, with the people, So that's that is the owner. So we want to be the owner of Chonil-guk. When we are participating in God's providence and participating in God's creation of the ideal world, right? We want to be the owner, right? We want to be in, not out just watching. Reverend Johann Lee said that Jesus' disciples, basically they were not in. Jesus' disciple, when Jesus was walking toward their crucifixion, they maybe they are so ignorant about God's providence. They don't know about Jesus so much, but they are standing outside and watching Jesus, how he making the miracle, how he can make this world change, and how then worst part maybe how they can be the great get the great position under him, or that kind of things. Just watching. Then Jesus is doing all the work. Then those Jesus disciples were just watching, and when Jesus was the suffering and the dying, then they just scattered around, right? We don't want that kind of we don't want to be that kind of just observer, Yeah, we want to be in. If Jesus is here, then we want to be with Jesus, right? So if we have the true parents, then we want to be with them, not just watching. Oh, true father did this. Oh, true mother is doing like this. Oh, great, Then if some kind of miracle happened, then you clap. Oh, great, But just oh, great, oh, manse, But you could be still outside, right? Just praising true parents. Or if something difficulty happened, then you just back off, silently, quietly, So we don't want that because we are children. When you have if you have a family, if something if a family member is suffering, then you cannot be the outside just watching it or looking at it. You don't know what can I do, but you want to be in with the person, your brother, your sister, your parents, your children. Sometimes we don't know what to do, right? Honestly speaking, but you don't want to be just looking at it. You want to be with them, be with them. If they suffer, then I suffer too. If somebody is in pain, then you are in pain too, right? If like that's family. That is a family. If you are one of the family members is so happy, then you are happy too. So that's like you moving together, doing together, right? Living, laughing, crying together. That is a family, Then the true parents are our parents, right? Then we are one family. Then we want to be the good child. I want to be the good child. When they move, then I want to be with them, right? So that is like a heart. When the true mother is emphasizing the heart of filial piety, that's sometimes we are in terms of that kind of heart, so we are not really mature or good enough, many times, like we are just sometimes looking at the true father, true mother from outside, so we don't want to be like that, right? So as you know, true mother is getting old, or I remember, when maybe like 2010 or so, when the Reverend Yu was teaching the original substance of divine principle, he was saying that, okay, you don't know when Father is going to go, as much as possible, then you be with Father. If you could see Father, so please come to see Father substantially, physically, So otherwise you don't know. This might be their last chance for you, So Father invested a lot for you, right? You as a child, then so you want to do something for Father. Just like bring joy to Father, by doing something. So anyway, soon after, so Father went to the spirit world. So we don't know how long Mother is going to be. Well, maybe she will live until 120 years old. We pray for that, right? But obviously, true Mother is not strong as true Father. Already you see it, right? So she can't really walk, even walk. Then she cannot see the text for their speech. So that's our mother is still like pushing herself like that, So that we want to be with her, right? So that's I think we want to like really develop that kind of heart, not just becoming. We don't want to be the observer of God's providence. What's happening there, happening here, So let's develop, that kind of heart. So when, of course, like we have, we are inviting True Mother soon in Las Vegas, Then let's develop our heart, right? That's how we can welcome True Mother, where, as children of true parents, as we got life from them, So how we can really welcome True Mother, okay? So internally, I think that part is really important for our spiritual life. Okay? So by having such parent-child, receiving love and trying to return love, we call that filial piety. Through that, then we grow. So that is our portion of responsibility. We make effort to grow. That means we make the effort to develop the relationship with true parents. How we can receive true love more, then how can we return the true love to them more. So that we need effort, right? If you don't make an effort, then maybe you don't develop it. That make an effort to pray or that study or whatever. Then when that is our responsibility, right? So then nobody can help you. Maybe a little bit help, but that is your own thing. How much you develop that relationship. That depends on our own effort, right? So that's, I really hope that we can really develop it, Then when mother come, then we can really welcome true mother in Las Vegas. Right? So true, so Reverend Jackson is working so hard to organize everything, and soon you may get the official note about the donation or that kind of things. Yeah, they are asking the 500 for each family. That is their goal. I said that. So then I think, okay, so now, when I said that, then I can, what did you think? That's an interesting thing, Maybe Reverend Sakai's ultimate purpose of today's sermon is the donation, participating in the things, then how you participate, giving a donation, All right, so anyway, that might be true. But if you think that way, then it's you may forget that something that I said, very internal important things, right? So, sometimes seriously, you may struggle because that kind of the amount was told, right? So, right? But as you know, the giving donation has very internal meaning too, Yeah. So then the people may say that if that is a really donation, don't say the amount, right? Don't say the 500 or 700, But actually, when they have to do something, then they need the money too. So then that's why they may need to say certain amount, right? Okay. But the point is that if you get really bothered by such external number, then your life may be damaged. Your spiritual life might be damaged, right? If you are really bothered by that, oh my God, why? Again? How many times in my life offered lots of money? Then sometimes IRS wonder that you are cheating, because your donation amount is too high. Not even 10% is pretty high, but sometimes way over 10%, because beside the tithes, things happen. Ooh. Right? Everything is gone. So then the IRS wonder, okay, this guy is cheating in order to reduce their tax, That much, we are so good and forgiving. Okay, why I'm saying this one? The point is, those external things, external number, don't let that kind of things bother you, your internal life. That shouldn't be. Okay, if that you may struggle it, yeah, we need to be mature enough to digest it. Even though you may feel bad, but in order to ease your some kind of bad feeling, then don't go too far. No, okay, this is bad. I don't care about this kind of things. I just go internally. That church is always like this. Oh, I hate this one. I love true parents, but I don't like this church. Or those kind of things. Then what you are doing is. I love true parents, but I don't like this, I don't care about the donation or whatever. If you really think so, then you may not really struggle too much because you feel I have to do. That's why if you cannot do, then you may struggle, right? But struggle a little bit, yeah. That's the point is how God is looking at you, then how am I doing, like when we have that kind of situation, then how am I doing to God and to parents internally, internally, right? So that is important thing. So if you are bothered by external stuff, then like you may lose your internal life. That's not good, right? That's not good. So the most important thing is that how we live internally, spiritually, healthy life. Then like if you are strong about it, if you are strong about it, my internal life, what am I doing? I am realizing my ideal myself and ideal world together with God and true parents. I am doing best. I want to do my best, right? So in that case, those kind of external things will not bother you, or like that kind of things will not destroy you. Don't be destroyed by those kind of things. Yeah. So I think that is very important. So that if you don't have money, then if you make a best effort, they will be happy. Like if you are rich, then you have lots of money, then like just, again, 500, take it, thief, take it. Then like if you like donate like that, then God is not going to be happy, right? Just then become just external money, no meaning money, right? No meaning offering. That is not offering actually. Then we don't want to do that. We want everything we give with heart, then that nurture you. That will nurture your life, right? Internal life. So that like you grow, I grow, and everybody grow, then come close to God, right? So, like when we got that kind of like a request or whatever, I hope like you really keep those the internal spiritual standard, in you, right? So then like then you live good spiritual life, yeah, good spiritual life, yeah. So then let's try our best when we are asked to donate, because the financially that is really serious too, okay? And let's go to see True Mother, if possible. If possible, we all want to go there to welcome True Mother. Okay? So please do your best of the best effort, right, to make this event successful and welcome True Mother with our utmost sincere heart, as the true children. True children of true parents. As you, all right, join me in prayer. Heavenly Parents, thank you so much for this wonderful morning. I heard that the True Mother began to make a condition to come to the Las Vegas on June 22nd. Heavenly Parents, so we really want to prepare for that. We want to welcome True Mother with the sincere heart, Heavenly Parents. So we are becoming your true child. We want to become your true son and a true daughter, and we want to establish the God-centered family and become truly one, become one with you, become one with our true parents as their children, Heavenly Parents, and we know that that is the core of the kingdom of heaven and on earth. Heavenly Parents, like everything will start with me and my family. Heavenly Parents, so please be with us and to keep our spirit high and live our healthy spiritual life. No matter what we do in my life, we do our best to become your true children, and we want to really fulfill your purpose of creation. Thank you again. Please bless those brothers and sisters here. I report this In the name of Hideki Sakai, blessed central family. Aju. Thank you.